Estrogen was extracted from mare's urine. That's where the name comes from. Premarin is pregnant mare urine. Kind of funny. I mean, I'm not making this up. How could you even make this up? Sounds all natural, but it's not identical to human estrogen in any way. Anyway, here's the deal with bioidentical. Bioidentical. It's right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. How can anything be bioidentical? We can't even make, I mean, we've got artificial intelligence now, and that's not even bioidentical. Plants cannot even make bioidentical hormones. Partly because they don't use them. But here's the deal with plants. They, in their structure, the way that they were created, not over millions of years evolving from the mud, over the way that they were created, the plants, the herbs and the plants, the plants and animals and the herbs will provide precursors of the hormones. Of course they will, right? That's how it works. So that's why you have to eat plants and animals. I didn't make that up. That's right. That excites me too. That gets me excited. So there's no such thing as bioidentical hormones made by humans. And the thing about bioidentical hormones, this wasn't talked about in that study, but bioidentical hormones can be passed from skin to skin. So it can go, the bioidentical hormones you take or you rub in, then pass from skin to skin. So your bioidentical hormones, your Premarin or your progesterone, your fake progesterone, stuff like that, can go from your skin to your baby or your teenager. Then, here's the kicker too. Here's the kicker. If you can pass it to your kid via skin-to-skin contact, who else are they passing it to? Ha! Under the sheets all sweaty? Here, baby, have some progesterone. Right? Tell Brent I said that. Tell Brent I sent you home with some progesterone. So it's interesting because then men, whose hormone problems are then gonna, who else is gonna have hormone problems later on? Who's going to be getting hit at their doctor's office for having low T? That's the new thing, by the way, low T. Everybody thinks they have to take a pill for the low T, right? So it's just such a cluster. Anyway, I don't want to get off into that. And then the estrogens, like the hormone replacement therapy and stuff. If hormone replacement therapy causes cancer, here's the thing about estrogens. You know that estrogens cause proliferation of cells and growth of cells, growth of tissue, growth of swelling of too much tissue, maybe in an organ that has a lot of blood in it. What does that sound like? Swelling of an organ, inflammation of a condition of an organ of, an organ, well, swelling, yeah, inflammation. But if there's an organ that is a huge muscle that has a lot of blood in it, and there's estrogen in it, would there be a lot of sloughing off of the lining? Thank you. Yeah. Who said that? Yes. Thank you. You're tracking with me. So if estrogens promote growth and proliferation of cells, wouldn't that be another way of saying cancer? Over-proliferation of cells? We know that estrogens do that, right? So if we're taking bioidentical estrogen, bioidentical progesterone, right, that could be causing problems. That's why the Women's Health Initiative, to go back, found that HRT caused premature death, increased strokes, heart attacks, cancer, breast cancer particularly, and dementia. So just FYI. If estrogens promote all of the proliferation of cells, that's why it's predominantly used in the cosmetics industry. Anything that says soothing or smoothing on the bottle will contain estrogens or estrogen-mimicking endocrine-disrupting chemicals, EDCs, endocrine-disrupting chemicals. Anything that says soothing or smoothing, you can bet your bottom dollar that there will be estrogens contained within that are going to proliferate your cells, overgrowth, leading to what the Women's Health Initiative, the largest thing that I know about, 160,000 subjects over 5 years of study that produced 2,000 research papers, and God knows how many PhD level research scientists were involved in this thing. They had already proven that HRT causes cancer. Smoking gun, premature death, increased strokes, breast cancer, and dementia. Sounds good, doesn't it? Premarin, we talked about that. Bioidentical hormones are safer than the synthetic prescription versions, but yeah. Okay. So beauty, we covered beauty. That's all I want to say about that. I don't want to get too much into the I don't want to get too much into the nitty-gritty of all the chemicals and this and that. But like triclosan, antibiotics, blah, 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 parabens, all the stuff that you see in the chemical, in the ingredient list of the stuff when you buy it from Suave and Jergens and Vaseline and all of these other, what are the Avon, what's all the other stuff? Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secret, Mary Kay. You turn the stuff over, you read it. It's like supposed to be natural, all natural lotion, and the list of ingredients is this long. You can't pronounce any of them. There's a bunch of numbers and acronyms like PEG and EDTA and all these things that are abbreviated. Why do you think they abbreviate them? Yeah, exactly. Right. So they abbreviate them and they put numbers in there and then some fragrance and some dye and some color and blah, blah, blah. And you've got this big giant list of stuff that doesn't belong on or in or near a human body. It's just crazy. I won't even get into all the chemical things. I try not to scare people with all that. So the beauty side of things you need to know about. Birthing stuff. Birthing stuff, I don't like to get into too much of this because I'm not an expert on it, as you can tell. But what's going on with women's health in the birthing side of things is just absolutely crazy. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, let's pass these out. This is really all you need to know about, it's really too much. It's really more than you need to know. Toxic ingredients used in cosmetics. These are some of the big ones to look for. Thank you, that was a good idea. Yeah, these are the, yeah. Yeah, yep. Pass those out. Toxic ingredients used in cosmetics. This is a short list. But this will clue you into the major ones. If you see stuff like that in your cosmetics, and you got to think, women, you're trying to get all beautiful. You're using 15, 20, I mean, I forget the average. I had the last women's health class I taught, I had all the averages, the numbers on how many products women use before they leave the house. Think about it. You get up, yeah, you're counting, right? Mascara, makeup, 30? Was it 30? It was stupid. It was astronomical. Well, number of products. Yeah, it was number of products. But then within each product, how many ingredients is in each one of those products? 50 or 60? Do the math. You're talking about subjecting yourself to upwards of like 1,000 different chemicals by the time you leave the house. Your mascara might have 20 ingredients in it. Your lipstick might have 50 or 60. Do the math, and just depending on how much stuff you're using. So it's crazy. I won't even get into that, but hang on to that, pass that out, stick that on your fridge, put that on the bulletin board at work. That'll be something to talk about at the water cooler, won't it? Oh, I like your lipstick. Perfect. People are wondering why women have so many problems. Let me ask you, what part of your body do all these toxins, once you slather it on your skin, well, first of all, where does it go once you put it on your skin? This is one thing people don't get either. Where does it go when you put it on your skin? Where else is it going to go? It has to. It has to. Where do women spray their perfume? Right on their thyroid. Funny, huh? Right on their thyroid. Isn't that crazy? We like to say it.
You gotta rescue us, though. Is there somewhere where you can buy something that doesn't kill you? Absolutely. There's a ton of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But part of and I'm glad you're laughing about it, because some people could just get really down and crawl under a rock and just say, well, I don't know what to do. Well, now that you know, you can't unknow. Like, you have to make some changes. Now that you know, it's better than not knowing 10 years down the road and going, oh, well, I got this unknown lump laying on my thyroid. I guess I'm going to go have this ripped off. If I would have known what I know now a while back, yeah, my life would be different too. My parents' lives would be different too. So, yes, we'll get to that. And there's a lot you can do about that. Think about it, though. When you put the stuff on your skin, where does it go? It has to go into your bloodstream. It has to go into into your circulation. And then where does it go from there? Depends. What's hurting? What's aching? What's the most metabolically active part of your body? Usually it's your brain. But what if you just went through a surgery? What if you just went through a hysterectomy? What if you just, all the blood is there, healing, soothing, healing, bringing nutrients in? That's where people have these long-term aches and pains that don't go away, yet they've been to chiropractors for decades, got adjusted every day, 3-4 times a week for 12 months or whatever, or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever the program is, and they still have back pain or something. I'm not saying anything bad about the chiropractor. I am one, for crying out loud. But why would you adjust and they don't heal? Those cells in your muscle or the ligament or the bone or the joint or the nerve or wherever it is, those cells are packed with toxins. Something's blocking them from healing, or else the body could heal. If I shoot you in the arm, it's going to heal eventually, right? If I cut you with a knife, it's going to heal. Come here, let's demonstrate. No, I'm just kidding. But your body's going to heal unless something's blocking it, unless something's screwing it up from being able to heal. Could it be your diet? Yeah. Do you have to eat, bread every week, every day? A lot of people, to them, that's more important than being pain-free. It is. Their diet, it could be their chemicals that they're putting on their body. That's why we educate people. That's why we require people who start as a new patient here, we require them to come to one of these classes so that they can get on board and realize, wait, you can come to one of these for an hour. It's like 6 or 8 office visits. I can divulge all this stuff to you for free, and give you all this stuff where you can go home and say, okay, now my kids, I'm getting rid of the Johnson & Johnson, no more tears. Stuff was a lie anyway. I always cried. It always hurt me. Stuff was a lie, Johnson & Johnson. So that's why it's so important for women to understand this stuff. Nobody thinks about, I remember growing up putting stuff on and not knowing, not even thinking. It was going into my blood. Where else could it possibly go? How do I know? Why do they use bioidentical hormone creams? What's Icy Hot do? What does Bengay do? Guess what? It's going into your bloodstream. Think about it. You can't have one go in and not have something else not take the same route, right? I wish I would have figured that out a long time ago, right? So you have to look at this and say, we got to make some changes. So yes, there are ways to get around killing yourself or buying stuff that kills you. Is that what you said? Buying stuff. Is there some way we can buy stuff that won't kill us? Perfect. Yes. So I don't know. I don't want to beat that dead horse, but the women, delivery at home, avoiding early and overly invasive procedures. I will just tell you this: women, the birthing thing is such. And Michaela, you have October, November. You have 3 more months, right? Yeah. So yeah. There's many routes you can go other than just the typical hospital route. And I understand you say something like, I'm not going to the hospital for my pregnancy, and your relatives look at you like you're a child killer, right? I can imagine. But for how many thousand years did they have babies at home? And the women were just brutes, just warriors. Grab onto a tree, squat down, grunt, boom. Right? That's how it went down. They weren't laying with their feet over their head against gravity, with enemas and all of this, and an epidural to poison the bloodstream, like from day one, and numb them to the whole experience, I'm sure it's painful, but look at it's just ridiculous. They're working uphill, for crying out loud. It's unbelievable. It makes absolutely no sense. Where was your mom? I should have had your mom here. Yeah. What was I thinking? That's her mom. There are many, yeah.
Many
Yeah.
doulas, many midwives.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Tennessee, yeah. That's a great area for it. Yeah. Your niece? Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Doulas, midwives, I mean, this is like doula central, isn't it? Like the Jerusalem of Doulaville right here. So yeah, there's so many options out there. But I just want to read you some of these. 75% of women have normal pregnancies. These stats are old. Stats are old, but I'll read them anyway. 99% of U.S. births occur in hospitals. Yet the U.S. has the highest or lowest infant mortality rate. Highest. That should tell you instantly right now. Drop the mic, walk off stage, boom, done. Let's discuss this for a minute. 99% of U.S. births occur in hospitals, yet the U.S. has one of the highest infant mortality rates in the entire world. if not the highest by now, because these stats are 8 years old, right? Remind me, I got to find new stats. They're probably worse by now. 2000 to 2005, maternal mortality rates rose 54% in the US. Other countries decreased. Why would that be? Between 2000 and 2005. Most likely due to C-section rates. The most common operation in the US is a C-section. Say what now? Maternal mortality rates rose 54%. Would that be included? That's a good question. I don't know. I have no idea. And yes, other. Yeah, no, that's a good question. Could be. A third of all births, the most likely due to C-section rate, which is the most common operation in the U.S. How crazy is that? What's the one thing that every person has to do? Get born. All right, put that on your schedule. So that's the most common operation in the U.S. Unbelievable. Isn't that crazy? So that tells you it's not about the advantage to the woman, it's about the advantage to the doctor's schedule. How crazy is that? A third of all births are C-section in the US. Other countries, a third. So that's like 30%, 35%. Other countries, it's 10 to 15%. And the risk of death during delivery is 3 to 5 times higher. Risk of hysterectomy is 4 times higher. Crazy. So I just want to share a few more little nuggets with you. We can't even get into this. We don't even have time. What time is it? Yeah. All right. All the cancer, all this other stuff, the HRT, the blood testing. Gosh, my women's stuff. I've got so much women's stuff. You guys are such a, There's a lot. There's a lot. You're such complicated topics, you women, you. Well, the blood testing, the cancer, the BPA, the plastics, the canned foods, potent endocrine disrupting stuff, sodas, beer cans, fast food, cash register receipts. This is a big one. BPA and the cash register receipts. It's huge. Yeah, the heated, the thermal paper, it's all BPA stuff. You know the BPA that you're trying to stay away from with the water bottles? Yeah. So the cash register receipts. I was reviewing some notes from seminars and things that I'd been to for a long time, in the last year, and I came across all of this stuff and kind of threw me for a loop because I thought, it's kind of disjointed and it doesn't really fit anywhere, but I have to tell people this, And the one thing that I will say too that just crossed my mind about so many women will bring me blood tests. They say, do you do blood testing? And I say, well, I can order any test that you need, including CAT scans and MRIs and blood labs and all that stuff. But what I find is a lot of times people don't need blood labs, especially when they're already eating crappy food and they're on meds, because the blood lab is going to, as much as your insurance company will pay for it, and as much as your MDs and your functional medicine guys will sit there and study it and tell you how many megadose nutraceuticals, milligrams of stuff you're going to need, the thing about your blood test is if you're eating crap food and you're taking crap drugs, your blood test is going to reflect crap results. I don't care when you take it, morning, noon, night, when you wake up, when you pee, it doesn't matter. It's going to look like crap, and it's not going to be the right numbers. So then you're going to try to correct the wrong numbers on this blood lab, and we've got a plant, bug, grub, beetle, wasp scenario going on, don't we? Right, you're asking the wrong question. You're looking at the wrong results. So the biggest thing about blood testing, there's no consideration for circadian rhythms. There's no consideration for, are they working third shift? Are they working a regular job? Did they get the blood pulled during the day, or did they get it at night? When they woke up, was the woman on her cycle? Was she off her cycle? Had she just ridden 20 miles on a mountain bike the day before? Did she just get in a fight with her husband the night before? Is she on birth control pills? You see what I mean? You're getting this blood. Yeah, it makes me crazy too. Absolutely. I can relate. So you're getting this blood lab, this blood sample, and you're not even considering all the other things that could throw off all these results. You're just looking at it and going, all human blood is all the same all the time. We know the numbers. Here's the low range. Here's the high range. Here's the out. Here's the in. Here's the up. Here's the down. Flag it, flag it, flag it. Here's your progesterone. And take this for the next 25 years. How stupid, yes, I said it, does that sound? See what I mean? perfect timing. Isn't that crazy? Blood testing. It measures only the bound hormones, too. The American Endocrine Society openly recognizes the inadequacy of blood testing for steroid hormones. So what I'm trying to say is blood testing, if you're looking at blood testing for your steroid hormones, it's not even adequate according to the American Endocrinological Society, or the American Endocrine Society. They say do saliva testing. That's another thing you can do. But then how is it going to be treated? With drugs, right? But the blood testing, the serum testing, you'll also hear it referred to, that's still used almost exclusively by conventional medicine and by insurance. And that's how people end up on thyroid. That's how they end up on Synthroid for 35 years. It's a snapshot of a momentary consideration like what we talked about. Nothing else is considered. Their health before, their health during, their waking, sleeping cycles, their menstrual cycles, nothing's considered. Food, diet, drugs, chemicals, all alter the results, and you'll never see the true picture of it. Yeah, and you just take one test, and the hormones are prescribed for decades. And the one thing, too, that you need to know too, about this whole HRT hysterectomy thing, most hysterectomy patients are missing their gallbladders. Why would that be? If you get one organ ripped out, would it lead to a downstream cascade of other organs malfunctioning? Yeah, the numbers on that are striking. So, and I like the idea, too, that I heard it said one time, this just crossed my mind. I heard it said one time, birth control pills are just managed menopause. So if you've got nieces or, friends or friends' kids or kids, daughters or whatever who are on birth control pills, just understand what's happening right there. Their hormones are being artificially manipulated every day for I don't know, if they from 12 to 22, let's say conservatively 10 years. Let's say conservatively 10 years. Then they might go through some stress in college or whatever, guy problems or whatever, and they might go on an antidepressant, or maybe they might gain some weight and go on a study drug stimulant to lose some weight or something. Might go on a something for tiredness and fatigue and depression, and then before you know it, she's 25, 30 years old, and she's on 4 or 5 meds, and but she's still taking the birth control pills. See, most people don't even tell us. They don't even tell us that they're on birth control pills because they've been on them so long. They don't think they're a drug. That's how messed up we are as a society. So then she goes to try it. She finds the love of her life, gets pregnant, and then you think, then what happens? Can't get pregnant, right? Then they run into a fertility clinic for IVF, in vitro fertilization, or having a ton of miscarriages. What is a miscarriage? Remember this right here? Sometimes. Remember this? Remember what we just did here? Put miscarriage right here. It ain't an accident. I mean, could be tons. Toxins. The body is not ready. Nutritionally, it's so easy. It's so easy. And this is not meant to step on anybody's toes. I know this is a sensitive topic, and I am in a room full of women, and I am alone. I know this. But I would hate for anybody to have to go through this and not know this one simple fact. If your body cannot support the life of another being, it will stop the life of that being. That's it. I hate to say it like that, but your body will not. It will cut things off before it will attempt every opportunity. It will take every opportunity to attempt to bring that life to being. But if you don't have enough, if you've got too much of the nutritional deficiency, or not enough good stuff, or too much bad stuff, or if you have organ dysfunction caused by or resulting from or to that, your body will say, cut it off, stop it. To save, guess who? You, right? And there's something that we did as humans that is causing that. Yeah, it's sad. Think about that. How many times has this happened to people? Miscarriage. They didn't know why. They thought it was their fault, or God had cursed them, or God, I've heard it all. I've heard it all, And it's like, no, your body wasn't ready. Let's do this again. But this time, give me like 6 months ahead of time. And let's do this right. And let's make it right. Let's clean you out. Let's detox you. Let's get your body ready to rock. And you know what happens? A lot better stuff. Yeah. Natural, total, normal, awesome, beautiful pregnancy. I've had women who had a kid before, and then they had a kid before they knew anything. They were on all kinds of stuff, eating like crap, and drinking, and crappy water, tap water, stuff like that. Didn't know. How was their pregnancy? Most horrible experience of their life, making them not ever want to have more kids, or was it a beautiful, awesome deal? I mean, just do the math, So they're afraid to get pregnant. Well, then their body gets healthy. Guess what happens? Guess what? I'm pregnant. Oh, no. That pregnancy, how do you think it goes? Better or worse? Much better. Once they know not to be slathering the stuff on, not to be popping the pills, not to be drinking the crappy water, and not to be doing the old stuff that they were doing before. It's so simple. But you've got OBGYN clinics, you've got fertility clinics, you've got all these people pushing all these drugs, toxic pharmaceutical poisons that don't belong in the human body. And we think that that's going to be a good thing. It's lunacy. But I hate to tell you, that's conventional, traditional American medicine. That's Western medicine. So welcome to the machine. But we are offering a completely different approach that all you have to do is open your eyes to this. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it makes all the sense in the world. Women with endometriosis, women with, estrogen, ovarian cysts and uterine fibroids and all this stuff. Endometriosis. I mean, that is no problem. No problem. Women, you got that stuff, you got friends with that stuff, you get them. Hey, Facebook, get them over here. Bring them. We will make one change in their lives that will revolutionize everything from the waist down, I promise you. One thing. And it's something that they should have known in grade school. And I won't say it on Facebook, but haha. Come to the next class for that one. But it's so easy. It is so remarkably easy. When you start pushing around markers on blood labs and you start messing with this, let's push up this drug, and let's do more milligrams of that one, and let's take this one down. It is, I'm telling you, that guy, it was a God moment. It's a railroad, weed, bug, grub, beetle, wasp. It's a hornet's nest. It's really what it is. I told the guy, hey, I'm going to come back after we're done with this lap here, and I'm going to do a video. Would you mind explaining that again? Because that really spoke to me. That was something. Humans causing the whole thing, and then it's backfiring on them and shutting down what they're trying to do. Messing up the entire order of nature that God intended. It's crazy. So what do you do, though? Well, before we move into the solution, any other questions about the problems? Any questions about any of that? Endo, PCOS. Oh, that's all the rage. That's the popular one now, PCOS. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, right? Syndrome. I love this. Syndrome, it's my favorite word, because medically, syndrome just means we don't know what causes it. So think of all the things that have syndrome at the end. Chronic fatigue syndrome, all the syndromes. You don't know what causes it. Kind of like the World Health Organization thing I shared with you earlier. Said physically there's no known cause. Any questions on any of that? PCOS, anything? Okay. Okay, cool. Do I need to say hi to anybody? Hi, Mom. Oh, okay. See what happens when you ask for questions? That's what now? Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Just a couple more things. Breastfeeding, we won't get into all that stuff. If your mom was here, we'd get into all the birthing stuff. Breastfeeding, we've screwed that one up too. Feeding kids, we've screwed that one up. What else have we screwed up with kids and birthing and breastfeeding? Yeah, it's massive. We've screwed up all. Oh, I love the nursery water. Nestle nursery water with fluoride in it. Has a picture of the baby. No teeth. Has a picture of the baby. Why is a baby drinking fluoridated water? He doesn't even have teeth yet. I mean, it's just, they put it right under your nose. Like, they think you're that stupid. So what do we do? How do we fix this? Same way we fix everything. The same way that works with every person that walks in here. 4 things. First of all, with the ladies, let's do this. Super easy. There's no special formula. There's no specialist necessary. It's just simplicity. It's just truth, because the truth is always simple. What would we do with somebody who's been slathering Mary Kay on themselves for the last 3 decades? Well, we'd smack the crap out of their hands, and then we'd say, come and sit down here and let us do an ionic detox on you. Let's get more blood flow to your internal organs so that you can detoxify all of that stuff out of your body. That's how it's going to happen. Let's do an infrared sauna, far infrared sauna. Let's get you in there and heat your body so that your body will open up every sweat gland you have and pour out your toxins. Going back to what I said earlier, when you're slathering all that stuff on, where does it go in your body after it gets into your bloodstream? Anybody? Anybody? Where is it, I should say this, where is it stored? Sort of, yeah, which are surrounded by what? Fat cells. Who said that? Oh, gosh, you're going to win Jeopardy tonight, woman. Wow, fat cells. Fat cells store all of your toxins. Why? Think about it. Fat cells is the best way to keep all of that stuff in a little bubble where it can't get out and mess with other things. So when people who have extra weight start losing it, do they feel good or do they feel kind of weird? Do they feel crappier? They feel bad, right? Because the fat cells are shrinking and pushing out, getting rid of, divulging all of those toxins out of them. So your body, in an effort to keep yourself very healthy, will suck all of those toxins into the fat cells, and the fat cells then surround the organs, right, and make cushion, put cushion in different places where you need it. So as a way to keep you safe and to keep your organs. Now, if those organs are surrounded by fat that happens to have a lot of toxins, might that organ have a dysfunction like what we had before? Funny, huh? Exactly. Cool. So detoxification. This is the good stuff or the bad stuff out. Bad stuff coming out. Okay. Well, what's the opposite of that? Good stuff going in. Which one of these would be good stuff going in? Nutrition. Why? Because the top 5 things that women are screwing themselves up with, who can name them? Come on, Red. You got this one. This is Super Jeopardy right here. Close. Well, the top foods as far as nutrition. Nutrition. Sugar. That's number 1. Grains. Perfect. Soy. A food like major foods. Corn. And wait, did I leave out soy? Or did I say soy? Corn, soy, dairy, grain, sugar. Those 5. Yeah. Corn, soy. Well, in the order in which they actually go: sugar, grains, dairy, soy, corn. Sugar, grains, dairy, soy, corn. In those orders. So when you go to Starbucks and you get a triple fat goose, hold the mayo, backwards, Ron de Jam, Carmelado, Ron de Jam, I said it. I studied ballet. That's how I know that word. Ron de Jam. I'll show you. You want to see what one looks like? In front of a room full of women. Perfect. Ron de Jam. So when you go to Starbucks and you buy something that has 3 of those in it, you could go to Starbucks and get sugar, dairy, soy, and corn all in one drink. Interesting, huh? So the nutrition, if we replace the bad stuff with good stuff, it's a double whammy, a good whammy. So that's where this comes in handy. Why are no other doctors teaching this? It's all about nutrition. Why? Well, it's not covered by insurance, and you have to learn it on your own dime and on your own time. And that's what I did. We don't do insurance here. Insurance isn't going to pay for you to get well. Insurance will pay to kill you with Medicare and mammograms, right? So nutrition, good stuff in. Detox, bad stuff out. Boom. That's 2 ways we do it. Remember those 4 pillars in the front room when you first walked in? 4 pillars. A table has 4 legs for a reason. If it has 3, it's kind of stable. If it has 4, it's really stable. Chiro, oldest healing profession, the largest natural health healing profession on planet Earth. What do I mean by that? It's one human touching another human. It's hands. Some of us who study the good book would call it the laying on of hands, wouldn't we? That's really what it is. You're just putting energy into somebody else's body. That's all you're doing. It's really simple. It has nothing to do with popping, cracking, or snapping your neck or your back. So I tell people politely, please refrain from those words. They still use it. It's okay. But chiropractic, you're a doctor. You're a primary care portal of entry physician who has the same rights and education and training as your drug-pushing pharmaceutical cohorts and colleagues. who are paid massive amounts of money to prescribe the entire population pharmaceutical poisonous drugs created from petrochemicals. Yes, oil, that's where they all come from. And then the pediatricians whose major income is from vaccines. So yes, you have the same training and the same clout, but you're not using two things, surgery or drugs. That's it. That's the only difference. Do we do physicals? Yeah. Can we order CAT scans? Yeah. Can we do blood labs? Yes. We can do all that. Unfortunately, most chiropractors have relegated themselves to a walking ibuprofen just by being neck pain, back pain, and headache doctors and wanting to work with athletes and sports people and this and that and not really engaging in really what's killing people. You'll see the handout for next here's where you want to know where we're going? Okay. Here's what we're doing. Next, was it October 1st, next class? Yeah, kids? Yeah. By 2030, there will be predicted no, I will say this with disdain, no normal males being born in the United States by 2030. What does that mean? They'll be diseased and have autism. How can they project that? Because they know at the current rate, the current autism rate, there will be no normal males born in the United States in 12 years. So if we don't do something, if we just lay in a foxhole and wait for the Panzer tank to roll over us, what are we doing? You know? Hop up in the turret of that thing, chuck a grenade, and let's tear this thing apart. Why not? So chiropractic, it's the most misunderstood profession out there. It restored hearing. The first chiropractic adjustment actually is 1895. Coming up next week is the anniversary, September 18th. Happy anniversary. The first documented, there were Chinese people and Russian bone setters and Egyptians and stuff moving people and, pushing bones and everything. But the first documented, actual codified chiropractic, the first person who finally codified it, systematized it, his name was D.D. Palmer, and he adjusted a guy in 1895 and it restored hearing. It was in the newspapers. You can find the newspaper clippings. And Harvey Lillard was the janitor's name. And it restored his hearing. The first chiropractic adjustment restored hearing. Why do you think most people and doctors' offices and medical facilities and insurance companies would relegate it to a pain modality? You only go to them if you have pain. You only go to, it's like acupuncturists, they're pain doctors with needles. MDs are pain doctors with pills, and chiropractors are pain doctors with adjustments. They just want to relegate everybody to being pain doctor. Pain, pain, pain. How many of these had anything to do with pain? Very few. Organic, visceral, somatic, life-ending diseases that sometimes result in pain if left long enough. Does that make sense? You'll have pain eventually if you don't address any of those things. And you'll think it's your back. You'll think it's from helping your friend move his couch. You'll think it's from having 4 kids. Oh, you're just falling apart. You're just getting old. No, 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 no. Don't be deceived. So that's what chiropractic does. Big structures of the body, we're moving them. Big structures. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands, hips, knees, ankles, toes, feet, head, neck. Laser, what is laser? It's just light. Small structures. And when I say small, I mean the cells and the membranes of the cells. So what does laser do that can help? Ladies, you like to fix your skin? You like to dislodge those toxins from the cellular membrane and from the working units of the cells that actually create your energy. That's what laser does. It dislodges toxins from cellular membranes, other places, and helps you to regenerate, helps you to heal faster. It stimulates the DNA. 2 sound waves, 1 sound wave from dad, 1 sound wave from mom. Kind of looks like DNA, doesn't it? Alpha double helix, Watson and Crick type stuff, yes? Laser stimulates those because it's using the same length, the same wavelength. So that's what laser is doing. Laser is the opera singer, and your DNA within your cells is the wine glass vibrating at that certain frequency that then stimulates the DNA. The laser stimulates the DNA to create all the proteins that I see when I look at you. Your hair, your skin, your nails, your muscle, your bone, your teeth, your eyes. Everything that you are is protein. So how important is it to eat protein? That's why everybody's sick, because all they eat is sugar. Boom. That's a little nugget for you. So if you're getting the bad stuff out, you're putting the good stuff in, you're adjusting the small structures and you're stimulating you're adjusting the big structures and you're stimulating the small structures with the first energy ever created in the universe, you think you'll get results? Mm-hmm. Because we're just following a little pattern. We're using stuff that only God created. Here we're using water, here we're using water, electricity, and heat. Here we're using light, here we're using my hands, and here we're using plants, animals, vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathic stuff, stem cells. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. So we only use stuff in here that's ancient. Does that make sense? So if you're here and you're on board and you get it, talk to Sarah, sign up, be a patient. This isn't a hard sell or anything like that. I will tell you this too. I wanted to tell everybody, somebody mentioned, was it Sarah that mentioned that we should talk about the radiation? Mammograms. Ladies, y'all know that wire bras. I wasn't planning on talking about this at all. Wire bras. How many of you wear wire bras? How many of you no longer wear wire bras as a result of being a patient here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Now, how many of you wear wire bras still? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So once you understand that you're wearing a massive antenna around your heart, your lungs, your breast, it's cutting off the blood flow and the lymphatic drainage to and from, up and down. Once you understand that, and you wonder why so many women have breast cancer, right? Why then also you think, why is breast cancer always the upper outer quadrant of the breast? Usually on one side, predominantly right side, or maybe left. I may be wrong on that one. Don't fact check me on that one. But it's usually, predominantly it's on one side. And 90% of the time it's upper outer quadrant. It's never medial inner quadrant. Why would that be? What are you putting on right here? Aluminum, all kinds of stuff that just shuts down your sweat glands, keeps everything in you, and eventually your garbage guy's trying to take the garbage out, but the front door's shut. He can't get out. What's it going to do? It's going to back up. Where's it going to back up? The only place it can back up, your lymph nodes. Boom, breast cancer. So then you're going to go in and you're going to get radiation shot through your smashed breast. What's that going to do to the tumor? Is it going to keep it all nice in a little package, or is it going to spread it? It's going to spread it. Hello. The whole system is hell-bent for leather on you not getting that. The whole system. And I can't emphasize it, say it, preach it loud enough. You have to understand this. It's not meant to scare you, but you have to know what's up, or you're going to be a victim. It's science, it's physiology, it's facts, it's math, it happens. 2 + 2. There's a cause, there's an effect. Wire bras, then deodorant, or not a deodorant, antiperspirant. That's the thing, antiperspirant. You all know this if you've been patients here long enough, antiperspirant. Then the other thing is putting your phones into here. And now we've got our back pocket, or front pocket, right next to your reproductive organs. Now here's the deal too, I'll tell you about this. If you look up Natural News, great website, 5G, everything's going 5G, right? It's written into the programming in the iPads. It's written into, how many of you saw this? A kid figured this out. This kid's a genius, I don't know who he was. In the actual programming, the frequency of the iPads now is at that frequency to destroy human eggs. Where are you sitting with an iPad? The 5G stuff, the iPads. Where's the iPad sitting? Huh? In your lap. Look this up. It'll blow your mind. Crazy. 5G. 5G's going crazy. Everybody's smart meters on their houses, all this stuff. Wi-Fi. Everywhere you go. You go home, you open up your computer. How many Wi-Fi hotspots do you have within the spitting shot of your dining room? Right? Radiation. So we need to talk about the mammograms, the radiation, the phones, this and that. But we also need to talk about how to stop it. Well, there's one option right here. We're doing 20% off tonight. These are R2Ls. I just had to, Sarah brought it up. She said, we ought to mention these because you see so many girls carrying their phones. I said, yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. I don't ever usually try to sell stuff at WellWorks classes. But these are great stocking stuffers. These are great for, handouts for, I don't know. Stick them in a card, you know what I mean? Stick them in a birthday card. Here you go. Oh, what's this? It's a radiation blocker for your cell phone. R2L means radiation to light. These right here are just little adhesive transistors, basically, that light up as your phone. You can stick this on the back of your phone. It's adhesive. It sticks on the back of your phone. Every phone's different. You go to the website and you figure out for your model phone where you would put this in relation to where the battery and where the receiver are, or where the transmitter is. And it sticks to it. And then you can see when your phone actually starts sending a signal, you can see the red light turn on and go off, turn on and go off. Like, it's amazing. Your phone will just be sitting there and you're not using it, and it's still transmitting data. So is that transmitting data? Can it hurt you? Yes. Science is out. Science is out. We know right now the cell phones are causing just as much bad stuff for people as the drugs. We know it. But if it came out, if you read the actual owner's manual for an iPhone, you see it. You're not supposed to hold it next to your ear. It's a phone. Who knows this? You know? Huh? Oh, here you go. Well, what are you thinking, Red? So yeah, so we're doing 20% off. They're usually $30. So what is that? So that's save $6 or whatever. And they block 70%, reduce cell phone radiation exposure up to 70%. And so these are made by the same company as my lasers. The lasers that I use here, I have 2 lasers. And this is radiation to light R2L. And they're great. And I have in every computer, every iPad, every cell phone. If you don't have some kind of blocking technology on at least some of this stuff, you need to. You absolutely need to. That's all I'm going to say about it. And the last thing I'll say about it is this. Get your kids off the stinking iPads. Get your kids off the phones. Get your kids off the electronic babysitters. It's killing their brain. It's written into the patent. Steve Jobs himself said this. I don't let my kids play with iPads or cell phones. Just before he died. Why? He said they were never designed to be used in homes. They were never designed to be used by kids. Steve Jobs said it. It is. Absolutely is. It absolutely is. Get your kids, especially in church. Oh, bugs me. Nothing burns my biscuits like seeing a kid that should be witnessing what is going on, sitting here playing some stupid little Disney game. Oh, parents, I'm sorry. I have to say it. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Darn it. I had to preach for a minute. Wrap it up. All right, Facebook, I just had to preach for a minute. Is there anything else we need to cover?
No, you need to have Deb.
Fabulous. Deb. My Deb?
Yes.
Hi, Deb. Love you. My sister. Share this. We can talk about that. Yes, thermography. Yes, I will talk about digital thermography right now. Let's wrap it up. Anybody? Any other questions?
Question.
Yes. Same thing. Same thing. Thermography? Or we're signing out? Oh, yeah. The question. Well, hold on. What was the last thing? Deb, what was the thing? Yeah, but what was right before that? Right before that. Yeah. Yeah. But what was the last thing that we just said? Oh, I was going to sign off, but we're going to, okay. Sorry, I'm scrambled. Fitbit, great question. Fitbits not only track your whereabouts and give out all of your information in an ordinate number of sources of whoever wants to know. It's also radiating, and it's also not, I wouldn't recommend it at all. If you like health and you like, people all of a sudden want to count their number of steps, I don't understand. Huh?
The little ones that you clip on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little ones that
Right.
you clip onto
So
your
here's
hip.
so here's the deal with Fitbits. Once you're in the database, they never take you out of the database. Once your name and stuff is into that database, you will never be removed from that database. The other thing about Fitbits is, yes, it's radiation, and yes, it's an electronic signal that's now measuring your heart rate, your blood pressure, whatever else they measure. I don't even know. Heart rate's enough. I don't even want them knowing how many steps I'm taking. So now that's sending all of your stuff to a cloud. And on top of that, well, people say, I don't care if they track me. I got nothing to hide. Well, that's great. But if they know where you are, then they also know where you are not. If they know you're at the park, they know you're not home. So if you like liberty and you like freedom, then you should not like Fitbits. So that's a good question, because everybody, it's the big rage now. Everybody, half people coming in here. But sometimes if somebody's really sick, they test and their Fitbit's what is messing them up. It's throwing off the electroconductivity of their body. Because now you're wearing something that has some radioactive elements in it, by the way, which the plastic and the battery and the metals in there. There's some things in there that are not for human consumption or should not be near a human body. Does that make sense? And you're in that database forever, and they know where you are, and they know where you're not. Not that you'd be out robbing a bank, but I mean, who wants to? You know, if you're not home, you can see who they're not home. That's a big thing. Yes.
What about mammograms? What is
Mammograms. That's what it was. We were talking about thermography. See, I asked a whole room full of people. What about mammograms? What about thermography? Mammograms, ionizing radiation.
I got one scheduled next week. That's why I want to know.
It's a phone call away from being unscheduled.
I know, but what do I do in the place of it? Don't do anything?
Do you want to smash your boob between a couple of
Well,
plates
I know.
and
I
radiate
don't
stuff?
like doing that. Well, I know.
I guarantee you, if you have a mammogram every year, you will eventually have breast cancer.
Really?
Well, ionizing radiation through your breast, think about it. You'll eventually have, yeah. So how about this? How about you do preventative maintenance ahead of time, and you eliminate all possibilities of that? That'd be wiser, would it not? Depends. Depends on how long and for how long. Sorry. Is ultrasound safe? Well, you got to think, like we were talking, you've got 30 or 40 Wi-Fi signals cutting through your head and your bones at your home while you're sleeping, along with satellite TV and all kinds of other craziness. Ultrasound is a much lower frequency, so in that respect, it would be safer. But would I recommend somebody go shoot their kid with ultrasound when they're pregnant to try to figure out if it's got what kind of reproductive stuff is between its legs? I don't recommend that.
I was thinking in terms back, could that be in time alternative?
That's what we're talking about with an alternative to now digital thermography is an alternative to mammograms. Yeah. Digital thermography. You can see it's using an infrared camera. Sorry, I didn't put all that together. It's been a long day. I didn't put all that together. And there's two different types of ultrasound. One's for injury and there's one for seeing babies. Two different things. But what she's talking about is digital thermography, and that's using infrared cameras to sense the heat signature in the body and find areas of inflammation, which could clue you in to cancer way ahead of time. And then you could do stuff like lymphatic massage and drainage. Then you could do stuff like ionic detoxification. Then you could do stuff like infrared sauna therapy, of which we have both. You could do lymphatic drainage. You could do lymphatic massage to then get rid of those areas of inflammation and let your lymphatic ducts, let your lymph nodes drain all that stuff out. What are they going to do if they find it with mammogram? They're going to drug you or they're going to cut you. Those are your only options. Yeah, Sonia.
I've done thermography for 4 years.
I've done thermography
Yep.
for 4 years.
Yeah.
It costs a little bit of money.
It costs a little bit of money, not a lot. You can choose to do it.
Yep.
Just your breath, or you can actually have
Yeah.
your body, your whole body.
They're in place now.
They're in place now.
We don't encourage
Yeah, we
insurance
don't encourage
necessarily per se, but if you've got insurance,
necessarily per se, but if you've got
thermography now,
insurance,
at my
thermography now, my insurance pays for my thermography.
so there are some improvements.
So there
if you do
are
have
some
insurance.
improvements. If you do
Get
have
thermography
insurance,
and then
you can get thermography
send it
and
into
then
your insurance and mine.
send it into your
reimburse you
insurance
back
and
Yeah.
mine for the reimbursement.
And they can also
For the
see if
money.
you have lymph
And they can also see if you have
congestion, and you have
lymph
thermography.
congestion. When you have thermography,
Yeah.
they can tell you.
Yeah, and that's when you'd enlist like a lymphatic massage person, or you do some electrolymphatic drainage or infrared sauna. You sit in a sauna at 150 degrees and you rub your lymph nodes, guess what's going to happen? They're going to drain. You just go back and forth real slow, just rub. Cellulite, bad skin, scabs, scars, surgical scars, C-section scars, you just rub them. You'll see a change, So yeah, it's much better. It's now more accepted than it was years ago, the digital thermography. But once again, yeah, most insurance won't. I'd say a lot of, okay.
I have Liberty
Yeah.
Health Share.
Yeah, so it's not like Blue Cross Blue Shield and Aetna and Cigna and Humana, they're not going to cover digital thermography. I mean, and here nothing I do is insurance based. So I don't even like the idea of insurance. So I don't recommend anybody does it. You're betting against yourself. It's crazy. Unless, life insurance and stuff like that is different. That's different. But health insurance, putting another company in charge of your health, that's where we got into this mess. So we're not going to insure ourselves out of this catastrophe that we call healthcare right now. There's no way to do it. And we can't buy our way out. The only way we're going to get out of this is by you and you and you and you and you bucking up, putting on your big girl panties, and getting to work, telling people what's up, and just getting down to business and saying, stop being stupid. Just stop it. You're doing the same thing you've always done, expecting different results. You're eating the same crap. You're slathering the same stuff on your skin. You're expecting different results. That's insanity. So the only way that we can fix this is by people being vocal. The only way that Monsanto went down, the only way that all of this stuff that's been happening in the world, people waking up and all these people discovering I don't want to be on drugs and I don't want to do everything that my grandma and my aunts and my uncles and my parents did. I mean, it's got to change, and you are the change that be the change that you want to create, that you want to see in the world, and that's what this is. So does that make sense? Thermography instead of mammograms. Don't be putting your phone in your pants or your bras, ladies. You will have cell phone shaped tumors. You will have small. They'll be shaped like a cell phone because people live on their phones. And get your kids off the phones. Get your kids off the phones. Or if you're going to have them on the phones, at least use one of these things, for crying out loud. Good grief. Here, set these over here in case anybody wants them. But get your kids off the phones, especially in church. They should be paying attention. I don't care how old they are. Darn it. Yeah, right on. So anything else? Questions, comments, concerns? We'll do a bunch of free giveaways. Hey, Facebook people, you should be here because we're giving away free stuff, and you can't get free stuff if you're there. So thank you. Hey, 3 weeks out, October 1st. Why your kids are sicker than you. That's going to be a great one. Y'all need to be here. Tell people if they have kids, don't have kids, doesn't matter. And I hate the well, I'm not coming to that one because I don't have kids. Are you affected by kids? Do you ever see kids? Do anyone you know have kids? So you have no excuse. Be here. Come on, it's free information. So Dr. Brett Spradlin, Divine Design, Natural Health. Thank you. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Trying to keep up in all this chaos. I need you now. When my life is in a state of flux, I will lean on the constant love of Jesus. When